now your game is all off, man. Just stay the course. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep perfecting your craft. Let your game answer all of that instead of you getting into all the talk and everything. Like I saw that AJ stepped up for him, and hey, we were doing this and that. Man, be about your business, man. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. When you get to start trying to hush everything that's being said, I think that takes your focus off of what really needs to be going on, and really what your focus should be is just getting better as a unit and not worried about what everybody's saying, because it's always going to be somebody talking. So don't even worry about it. And then, because that was you, D-Gun, that was talking about he gave up all them sacks in the 707, huh?
Yeah.
That was
causing trouble, Trey. Buddy, happy Thursday to you. We are Sports Take, JAKIB Sports YouTube Network. Barrett Brooks, Derek Gunn. I'm Rob Ellis. All right, we are thrilled to be joined by our next guest. He was a rock, a steady island himself, and we got to get to that background right there, man. But Eagles offensive lineman, drafted 11th overall in 1998, played here for more than a decade, missed one game.
That's
as
crazy.
An Eagle, was an Iron Man. The one and only William Trey Thomas. What up, Trey?
Hey, I'm chilling, man. How you guys doing today?
Where
Doing
are you,
great,
man?
brother.
That is a great view behind you, man.
Oh, yeah, man. You see the ambiance? I mean, you know what I'm saying? There's nothing like hanging out in a winery in the middle of the day, man. That's what I like to do.
That man loves his wineries. He loves his wineries.
Man, you know what I'm saying? It's a nice warm day. Get a nice little slushy. You know what I'm saying? Just hanging out, man. Just relax.
Wait, is that a wine slushy?
Yeah, where
Of
can
course
people
it
get
is.
those? Where can they get those, Trey? Those
Right
slushies?
now I'm at Blue Cork Winery over in Monroe, New Jersey. Beautiful location. Angelo and Michelle, man. This location has been open now for probably like 5 or 6 years now, man. I really am digging this winery, man, just because of, when you look at the vineyard and everything, you could tell the attention to detail out here is just on something different, man. So I really like coming out here and hanging out.
So how many wineries do you visit a summer?
Oh, man, I bounce around to quite a few, because my son is going to Westchester in the fall. So I've been going to some wineries over in PA. I like the wineries in PA just because of the different levels you have there with the scenery and everything. But New Jersey is definitely one of my favorite ones. I'm always at a winery at least 2-3 times a week.
Yeah,
that goes with you. What you do as far as painting and wine, man. It's a nice venture, man. You do it. He does a lot with the NFL. As far as having we do a wine tasting as we're doing on virtually, painting and everything. He teaches you how to paint and everything, man. I love it, bro.
What's it called, Trey, for people who may not know?
My art studio is Pinot's Palette. It's Pinot's Palette that's in Cherry Hill. Yeah, so. Yeah, this has been my latest thing, man. I've been checking out a lot of different wineries because I have some property in Florida that I'm kind of tossing around the idea. So I've been just going to a lot of different wineries, seeing what I like. Angelo is here at Blue Cork. Told me he'll take me under his wing. So I'm going to start working with him in the next couple of weeks to kind of start learning the business of making wine and everything. So, just something different, man. Keeping myself busy.
So how did you come up with the name for your art gallery?
Well, that's a franchise. So we kind of just bought into that as a franchise. That was the name of it, Pinot's Palette. So yeah, so I the name was already there for that one. So yeah.
Now, Trey, I got to ask you about last year. I know you coached offensive linemen down at the IMG Academy. How did that go, man? Did you enjoy that?
I really enjoyed that experience. Being able to work with some of those guys. I mean, when you go back. IMG is a little different atmosphere just because, this is not the typical high school offensive line that you're dealing with, man. I mean, my offensive line average, I think our average size was probably about 6'2", 6'3", 320. We were just like professional. I mean, my guys take the field, man. And I coached them the way I was coached, and I thought that it was just a really fun experience, and then to see my guys move on to the next level, I thought was really fun too. My left tackle Tyler Booker went to Alabama. My right guard Alu Ba went to Georgia. My center Dylan Lopez, he went to Oregon State, and then one of my other guards he went to East Carolina. And then my other backup guys that were juniors, my left tackle and my right guard, I mean, they're top of their class. So, they'll probably be going to any top. One of them has already committed to Florida. Then I'm not sure where the other one is going to be going. But yeah, man, I thought it was a really cool experience just to be down there.
You got your boy Juan. You coach him like Juan. You just go, come on, let's go, guys. Let's go.
yeah, exactly the way Juan taught us. A lot of the same techniques when it come to pass protection. Because when I coach, like I spend way more time in pass protection than I do in run blocking, just because it's the hardest thing to teach.
Yep.
So it's a lot of time that's put into it. So now I'm back up here in New Jersey. My son will be starting his sophomore year at Shawnee. So, it's going to be fun, man. Right now, I'm just working with him and making sure I get him up to speed.
So grade yourself as a teacher of young men, the craft that you perfected as a professional athlete. How do you think?
I'm excellent. Okay. I'm excellent.
All right.
I still had the guys call me to this day, where I told them all the time, like, look, man, I'm a coach. I'll never take on another high school group like that again. But if you guys ever need me, I'm there. And they always call me if they have any questions about anything. Yeah, I think I'm really good at coaching, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm good.
Why would you never do it again?
I don't know, man. High school is just different. It's different. It's
a lot of parent. Is it a lot of parent drama? Is that what?
No, I didn't deal with parents. Okay. That's the thing. That's like at IMG, you didn't have to deal with that. Because most of the kids are from different states. They're from all over the place. Because you treat IMG more like a college experience. I'm looking for something different, man. Coaching was fun. When it comes to football, when I'm in football, I'm something different. And it's not, it's a different attitude, a different mindset. When I get into football, I'm not as home as much just because I want to be on the field. I want to watch film. I want to get into all that. So I'm at this phase now where I kind of want to just be with my family, man.
Understood.
Okay.
Understood.
Okay.
Well, I got to ask you, I look back at your years, man, with you and Runyon, protecting, Donovan was unbelievable. Did you guys realize it at the time? Like we got something pretty special here with these guys in your whole crew, but especially you two.
You know what? When you're in the thick of it, you don't really think about it, man. You're just going. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't really take that time to take a breath and kind of just look back at, like, man, you know what? You don't see the big picture. You're always next down. And then next thing you know, you 8 years into just now the next down. And you never really take that time to kind of realize, like, man, we've been the bookends for all this time. And the group that we kept putting together between us, you don't really think about that. You just go, it's once you retire and, you start to get acknowledged, then you kind of realize what we did, but during the time of it, man, I wasn't thinking about that. I was worried about whoever I was going to be dealing with that weekend.
Yeah.
Hey, Trey, when you play with Runyon was widely recognized as one of the nastiest, dirtiest offensive linemen in the game.
Absolutely.
Was he that bad? Tell me.
Oh yeah, dude. Like Runyon was nasty. And that's the way we were coached as well. But Runyon was just like Juan would be like, all right, man, I want y'all to cover downfield and get in the habit of covering downfield. And like if anybody's around the pile, you take them out. Man, Runyon was doing it in practice. He would be out at knee high. And you see Runyon and Buns go taking off downfield and they just cleaning guys off the top of the pile. I'm like, whoa, these are our own teammates, man. We're going to need them at some point. Man, Runyon didn't care. Like, it was just a nasty, like he had a nasty demeanor as an offensive lineman. And really, at the end of the day, that's what you want your offensive line to be. You want 5 assholes. But you know what I'm saying? Like, you really want 5 assholes out there that don't care. And that's what you need. And that's what I think makes a successful offensive unit. When you got if you can get 5 guys out there like Runyon, man, you got something that you can make some noise, and that's what you want, man. I think, because everybody thinks, oh man, I'm an offensive lineman, I have to be passive. No, dude, you're the reason that this offense works. So you have to have some type of mentality. You got to have some type of dog in you, and if not, you're gonna get exposed and you'll wash out real quick.
Bro, that's just the way Juan was one of those guys, man. He was like, look, hey, B, if you don't go, it's gonna be me and you in this indoor. Me and you, we're gonna close the door, turn the lights off. Whoever comes out, comes out. I say, Juan, come on, man. I'm gonna break your neck. But Juan was tough. Juan was tough.
Man, the man took a John Deere to the knee and still came out to practice.
What?
The got man hit by took a John Deere. He got hit by a John Deere underneath the vet stadium.
Yeah.
So, because underneath there, we had those John Deeres running underneath the stadium. That man took a John Deere, flushed to the knee, crushed his kneecap, and still came out to practice.
Come on, man.
Ray Rose had to send him home. Ray Rose had to send him to a doctor.
Oh, and the man crushed his
kneecap and still came out. Yeah. Man. I remember one time Juan was getting ready to have his kid. And I think his wife was he was going to she was doing C-section or whatever. And and I guess they called Juan. They were like, "Hey Juan, man, your wife is about to go in labor." Juan was like, "Well, we got another 30, 40 minutes. We can get the stem in. Then I'm gonna head on home. Then I'm gonna head to the hospital." You know what I'm saying? So like Juan was like, he was a workaholic, man. He was really about it.
I've known Juan for a long time, and when you talk to Juan away from the football field,
that's Juan Castillo, everybody.
Juan Castillo, former Eagles offensive line coach.
He is one of the nicest, most compassionate human beings you ever wanted to meet. But there's that Jekyll Hyde element of Juan Castillo that a lot of people don't know about. And as I've talked to former players now about Juan, I'm finding out more things about Juan as a coach than I ever thought I knew about when he turned that coaching mechanism on. That wasn't the same dude I was talking to off the field.
No. I mean, when you can go back and you can see some of the time stamps on his film at 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. I mean, the man was sleeping at NovaCare, from Monday through Thursday. Yep. I think he only went home on Friday, maybe after Thursday practice, maybe Friday after the afternoon practice, and then he would go home. I mean, he was a workaholic, man. He really put in the work, and I thought, to me, I credit a lot of my success to what he was teaching, and I hold on to it to this day. Anytime I teach someone, it's all based off of what Juan taught me.
That's fascinating.
Well, hey,
go back.
I'm just looking at the offensive line, the Eagles right now, and Coach Stoutland being one of the best offensive line coaches in the league. What's your take on this offensive line? I've already been on record saying it's the best line in the NFL right now, and I contribute that to Coach Stoutland and his ability to get his point across. You know what I'm saying? I mean, all those guys want to set like Jason Peters, so they do. So I think it's coaching more so than anything. What is your synopsis of this offensive line the Eagles have constructed today?
I think they're a very talented group. And they always come in every year. They're going to be ranked one of the top offensive lines in the NFL. But like every year, there's always some injuries or something that happens with the group. But I think that when you look at the group as a whole, I think they're very athletic. I think they do a really good job of run blocking. That's one of the things that Coach Stoutland really hangs his hat on, is with the run blocking and combination blocks, coming from that Alabama mindset, that whole, all right, we're going to run the ball. I think he's gotten better when it comes to teacher protection, as a coach. So I think that's something that he had to continue to work on since he's been in the NFL as a coach. But I think that he has gotten better with that, and I think his group is really playing well.
Trey, I got to ask you about the guy who plays your former position, the left tackle, Jordan Mailata, and just his rise, man, from not even being a football player, playing over in Australia, rugby and whatnot, to what he is now. I mean, does that just blow your mind when you think about this guy didn't know how to put pads on 5 years ago?
Yeah, I think that, he has definitely progressed. I mean, he has the size, he has the talent, and once you have the size and you can move, the rest of it is just teaching. So I knew it was going to take probably 2 to 3 years to kind of get to really understand what you're doing. Because, I mean, you've had guys come from rugby before that it just didn't pan out. I mean, Chip had a guy brought in as offensive lineman that never really played, and he was a rugby guy, and he tossed around out there. Mailata is something different, man, where you got somebody that's 6'7", 6'8", 340. I mean, at the time, I think his body fat was in the teens.
You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, then he can get out there and sing with anybody on, America's Next Top Idol or whatever. I mean, you know what I'm saying? And play a ukulele, a guitar. Very talented young man, but I think that when you look at his game, he has gotten better. I think that he needs to continue to work his hands a little bit. I think when you're that size, you kind of body up with guys a little too much just because you lean on your weight too much. And then I think that puts him at a disadvantage when because now you can get hit with the spin moves, you can get caught leaning, you get a holding. But whenever he shoots his hands and plays with extension, I think he plays a lot better.
Yeah, it's fascinating. Generally, Trey, I know you keep an eye on the Birds and what's going on right now. What are your thoughts going into the season, man? How good can they be? They made a lot of noise in the offseason with some of the moves.
I mean, right now you got one of the top receiving cores in the NFL. You know what I'm saying? So that's going to be good. It's going to be interesting to see what they do with this defense. There's been a lot of talk about a 3-4. I think that when we haven't ran a true 3-4 since when Chip was here. And I think that's when you saw some of our better run defenses during those years. When you got Big Jordan in the middle, man, I mean, that's an animal out there. My man, how big is this dude? I haven't seen him yet, personally.
Oh, who was he standing next to? Do you guys remember that shot? It was like he was standing next to somebody on the defensive line, and they look like a cornerback, but it was somebody gigantic. He's huge, man. He's like 340 and 6'5", or no, 390 and 6'6". It's crazy.
Yeah, 6'6", 340. He lost weight to get to 340.
Right.
He lost weight to get to 340. But when you watch the 40 time that he ran at the combine,
yes,
like how athletic did he look running that 40? Like if he was 250 pounds the way he was running, I would have expected him to have the fastest time at the combine. Just because of how athletic and smooth he looked as a runner. You don't see that from big guys, but all of that really doesn't matter because, I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, how many times you going to really run a straight 40-yard dash in the NFL? I mean, at some point, you're going to have to hit a cut and move, but, it looked impressive.
Hey, Trey, you were in Philly when you had a young quarterback going through maturation process in Donovan McNabb. And, there were high moments with him. There were low moments. He would get defensive. When the criticism was negative towards him, you hear all the scuttlebutt now about Jalen Hurts, and there are those who think he's going to do great, and there are those that have a lot of reservations about him. How would you tell Jalen Hurts to handle his current situation?
You know what? I haven't heard Jalen firing back at people.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I think that's the best way to handle it. Just be about your business. Because if you get into trying to defend yourself against this person, like back when we played, you didn't have social media and all that. You know what I'm saying? Like we had MySpace. You know what I'm saying? Nobody was dealing with that. Right. So now, if you get there like, I'm gonna go argue with this person, then I'm gonna go argue with this person. Now your game is all off, man. Just stay the course. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep perfecting your craft. Let your game answer all of that instead of you getting into all the talk and everything. Like I saw that AJ stepped up for him and hey, we were doing this and that, man, be about your business, man. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. When you get to start trying to hush everything that's being said, I think that takes your focus off of what really needs to be going on, and really what your focus should be is just getting better as a unit and not worried about what everybody's saying, because it's always going to be somebody talking. So don't even worry about it. And then, because that was you, D-Gun, that was talking about he gave up all them sacks in the 707, huh?
Yeah.
That was but then
causing trouble, Trey.
So this was my thing. They were like, well, hold on. How can he give up sacks in the 707?
Yeah.
Well, you can. You can give up sacks on 707. The average pass play is 2.4 seconds. So let's say that if you got a 7-step drop, you don't get that ball at a 2.4 sack. If you don't get the ball, if your first read ain't there, you don't get to the second read right away, that's a sack. So, I mean, come on, man. Stop bickering. It
went from one practice, people blew it up all across the country. the whole off the OTAs. It blew up to see. And that's what I hate about social media, man. People, you have all these experts out there.
It's you. You're the one starting it.
So you know what? That's what I do. That's what I do. But you know me a long time. Would I put it out there if I didn't get it from reliable sources?
Exactly. It definitely came from a reliable source. And
Thank
I mean,
you.
you know, it is what it is. I mean, you know what? If he had a bad day, so what? He had a bad day. Everybody,
Thank you.
I mean, that's football. That's football. Everybody's going to have a bad day. So let's not sit up here and act like, oh, man, it's all been perfect. Everything is perfect. All is good here. All right? We're going to see. We're going to see real quick. I don't even worry about going to practice. Everybody like, hey, man, you going to come to practice? Hell no, I ain't coming to no practice. What I want to come out there and watch practice for? You know what I'm saying? I see what I need to see when you got those 3 preseason games. Because you're going to have to show something in those first 2. Yeah. I'm going to have to see something in those first 2. And then once that season starts, then it's on. Then we'll see all we need to see.
Yeah, Trey, but my concern is they're not going to show you much in preseason. Then he's not going to play much in preseason.
I'm going to see something.
I'm just telling you.
Something. You're going to be at 3rd and 10 in the preseason game. I'm going to see how you're going to protect. I'm going to see what your rusher's looking like. You're going to do something. So we'll see.
Trey, what do you think of that, though? I mean, they've really cut things back. Some of it's CBA, some of it's the coaches, whatever. But, you know, I know it was a lot more hardcore during your day. How much does that affect the way you start a season, not having that kind of those reps that you used to get back in the day before in camp and preseason games?
To me, because every era is going to be like, oh, back in my day, you know,
right.
We played in a field full of Sanders Spurs. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, you know what I'm saying? Like, we had to pick Spurs out of our skin because the practices were so hard. But and then like these guys now be like, man, training camp was tough. And I'm like, dog, you got a day off every 3 days.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You get a scheduled day off like every 2-3 days. You don't have full pads in practice. Like everything is like you're in helmets and shit. Man, come on, dude. Like, but you know, to me, I feel like I get why you're doing it. I just feel like you see more injuries in the beginning of the season because of it, because you never really pushed yourself. You never you never put yourself in the red.
You never harden yourself.
You know what I'm saying? Like everything has been, you know, hey, all right, let him go. You know what I'm saying? You get to the fit, then you let him go. You haven't had a real DN really put his head in your chest yet.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? That's trying to get to the quarter. You haven't sat down on a true bull rush yet because everybody, they get to the fit and then we stop. Hey, hey. You know, but once you get, when that real deal come on, and you know, and it's real, and I find that I just feel like you start to have more injuries more in the beginning of the season just because you haven't toughened your skin enough. For what
Trey, we'd have probably played until we were 20 also, man. We'd have been 20 years we played.
Man. Right now, man, my knee hurts so bad right now. I mess around. I don't know what I did. I had to call Tracy. I've been calling Dr. DeLuca all of them. Hey, man, look at I need some help. I need somebody now. You know what I'm saying? Like, my knee hurt so bad. Like, I almost started walking with a stick, but I'm like, you know what? I'm too young. I you know, shake it off. I take slow steps.
Hey, Trey, is there
level ground? Stay on level ground.
Is there a possibility you might have gone to one too many wineries, maybe had one too many wine slushes, misstepped somewhere, and maybe a little pop in the knee action?
This is medicinal. This is medicinal wine. You have to do your research, man. There are a lot of health benefits when it comes to wine. It's good for the heart, and then it's good for this other stuff that they say, and then there's this other stuff that it helps out. You know, then it
what other stuff? What other stuff?
And then there's like this other stuff that it kind of helps regulate. You know what I'm saying?
Dr. Trey. Dr. Trey.
This wine is medicinal. It's legal.
hey, Trey, man. So you know, I'm sitting back, man, and I saw that you and your bookends, you two bookends, man. You guys are in the Eagles Hall of Fame, man. But honestly, man, just from playing with you that one year, you know, when you got me up out of there, you came in. We're going to the direction.
That wasn't my fault.
But hey, remember, I would tell these guys, man. We actually we're going into I think it's towards the end of the season. We're gonna play Green Bay in Green Bay, but all of a sudden somebody got Reggie-itis. Yeah, so here I am thinking
here
I am
thinking boy, that boy woke up. That boy woke up here like, oh, my stomach, my back, oh, my ankle. I don't know. It's something is hurt.
Wait. Who was this?
Hold on.
Who was it?
Then I get a call at 6:30 in the morning. Get your ass up now. Get your ass up. I'm like, Ray, what's up, man? Get your ass up. Somebody called Reggie-itis. You're starting right tackle today. Starting right tackle. You ready? Somebody called Reggie-itis.
Oh, my God.
Let's go do work. You know what I'm saying? And you answered the call. You answered the call. All I'm saying is, right. Dog, that person woke up that morning. He was like, hey, man, I think I got an ingrown toenail. Oh, no, I think it's my back. I think I'm running a temperature, too. It's a temperature that's going on. I think I got a bug. It might be a 24-hour bug. Maybe he caught COVID way back then. I don't know. We don't know. It's never been confirmed.
That's the first case. Yeah, unbelievable. Yeah.
Come on.
Way back then.
You know? I told these guys that they didn't believe me. They didn't believe me.
Come on, Barrett.
Hey, I give Barrett props. Barrett showed up, Trey. You know what I mean?
Who was it? Come on now. We got to know. Yeah. We got to know. Who was it?
Answer the call. I ain't going to say. You know,
come on now. We got to know. Who was it? D. Brooks?
All I know is in that game, they told me, hey, look here, man, because I used to talk a lot of trash. When I first started. I used to be bad. But they told me, like, hey, man, look here. You go out there talking all that junk, Reggie White going to come to your side. Hey, boy, quiet. I'm like, hey,
it was like a library out there, man.
I don't even think I clapped my hand when we broke the huddle. I said, wow. I want you to stay over there, Reggie. You stay over there. I'm going to stay right over here and do what I do. You deal with me. I don't want none of that. Yeah, man. I was quietest game I ever played.
Trey, was he the best you ever went against? Who was the best?
I didn't have to deal with Reggie. That'd be.
No, I'm saying in your career, who was the toughest guy for you?
Oh, for me, Simeon Rice was the toughest I had to deal with.
Okay.
You know, just because he was such an awkward rusher, he made me change the way we played. Because we would always shoot both hands at the same time, and Simeon would show chest, and then he shoot both hands, and then he would clamp the outside arm. So then, you know, he beat me on a 3-step drop one time, and I mean, it was ugly. You know, he showed chest, I shot my hands, and then bam, he took it away. And clamped my outside arm, hit 5. I mean, you know, I think by 5 probably held onto the ball a little long too. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna put that on 5 and not B.
It wasn't your fault.
I always want to remember myself as being awesome.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So that's all I want to do. I was always awesome, and it was always somebody else's fault when I got beat. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna put that on 5. But yeah, man, Simeon was like one of the toughest guys that I dealt with, and he made us change the way that we played, because we would always shoot hands, but then now we started treating it more like a boxer, where it was like, all right, shoot inside hand, bring your outside hand only if you need it. So it'd always be like jab, then finish. So he kind of changed the way we started playing.
Well, you know what?
Trey, go ahead.
Let me get this real fast, Jack. I thought that, you know, you and your boy Runyon were the 2 top tackles playing then, even with Baselli, J.O., you know, Ogden, all those guys. I thought you 2 were the best tandem playing, man.
Appreciate that.
You think you gonna get some consideration, you and Runyon, as far as Hall of Fame?
Yeah. You know what? Because the Hall of Fame is all about, when you talk about offensive line, it's all about Pro Bowl votes. You know what I'm saying? I only had 3. You know what I'm saying? So, and you got to look at during the era that we were in. You always had Orlando Pace could play 3 games and was still gonna go to the Pro Bowl. Jones could play 2 games and still go to the Pro Bowl. And then, so it was always me, Chris Samuels, and Flozell Adams battling for that 3rd spot. So, to me, man, I really don't even care. I got recognized by the Eagles, and that's enough for me, man. You know what I'm saying? To be recognized by the team that I played all my years for, that was more important to me than anything that would come after that. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I get into the NFL Hall of Fame, cool. What's bigger to me is being recognized by the city that I played my most years in, and that's the one that I hold tight to.
Trey, when you look at the money offensive linemen are making today, especially tackles, is there a part of you that wishes you were young and could have played the game today to get some of that big money?
I got my son. I'm working on him right now. You know what I'm saying? So I'm good. Like,
I'm sitting at a winery. It's what time? It's 1:27.
Yeah.
I'm in a winery right now.
Yeah,
so
life's all right. Yeah.
Yeah, life is good. You know what I'm saying?
Except for the bad knee.
But yeah, I got a bad knee. I mean, you know what I'm saying? I mean, everybody got their little ailments now. I mean, you know what I'm saying? I know you wake up sometime like, oh, you know.
Every day.
You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, you know, that's just the Father Time is undefeated. But
right.
I got my youngest son that I'm working on right now, you know. But you know, that's good. Like, and that's every era. You know what I mean?
Oh no.
Uh-oh. What happened?
Yeah. Trey, you there, man?
Yeah. I'm back.
We got you.
There he is.
I'll say this too, Trey. You were drafted in '98. You were drafted in the same draft as Randy Moss. We forever in this town bellyache when guys go later and the Eagles took somebody else, and like, you know, with the Rager, Justin Jefferson thing. We don't talk about that in this town, and that's a tribute to what kind of player you were, man. I'm just telling you.
I appreciate that. Every now and then I hear it from some people. I'm not gonna say, but every now and then I be like, hey man, they be like, man, we got you instead of Randy Moss. I'm like, yeah, man, you know, you wouldn't have been, well, you know, they had you there, B, so, you know. I ain't gonna say
no, realistically, man, you know, I was out of there, man. 98 was my last year. Big Red came in and said, Big Red. I said, Big Red, man, I'm telling you right now, I get a hometown discount. I said, I understand you got Trey, but you saw what I did. You know, I played right tackle, you know, battle Reggie White. I was ready. You know, he said, yeah, you had a great game. You know, I was watching you there. But we're going in another direction. And all of a sudden, they brought in the big Runyon came in. I said, oh, I understand now. Yeah, I understand.
Yeah, that's the life we live in, man. But yeah, you know, they took me instead of Randy, man. That was amazing because this was always the city that I wanted to play for when I went through that whole draft process. So yeah, man.
Hey, do you miss doing this, Trey? I know, you know, you were doing the mornings and that kind of thing. You miss the media game, so to speak?
Yeah, I'll probably be doing some stuff in the season. You know, once the season cranks up, I'll probably do a pregame show or something. I don't know. You know, we'll see. You know,
that's when you living good, bro.
Yeah, based on your performance today, man, someone could do themselves a real favor getting you. I would
no question. Hey, a few years ago, Trey,
this is all good. I like to impart my wisdom, you know, because I've learned so much, and I feel like, you know, books should be written. You know, I already have a statue in the Franklin Institute, but books should be written. You know, I have a park named after me in my hometown. You know,
really.
Oh yeah. There's a Trey Thomas Park in DeLand, Florida. You know,
that's awesome, man.
Yeah, man.
Was there what were the runner-ups besides Florida State? Where else were you close to?
Maybe Miami.
Okay.
You know, but I just did make it out of Tallahassee. I don't think I would have made it out of Miami, you know.
I got you.
So, like, I was really looking at Miami, but then, you know, like Tallahassee, because my parents went to FAM. That's where my dad played his college football. So I was very familiar with Tallahassee. I had a couple guys that I knew that I knew, you know, that my guys that played with my dad at FAM, where their son was playing at Florida State, and Todd McIntosh was a defensive lineman there. And he was one of the guys that kind of took me under his wing there. But yeah, I was kind of looking at Miami. UF really wasn't for me. I was going to stay in Florida, but yeah, you know, like for real, like I just did make it out of Tallahassee. I can't rent a house in Tallahassee, and I'm banned from Enterprise. I can't rent a car from Enterprise.
Really?
I'm in Tallahassee, man.
What'd you do?
Nothing
needs to be said.
You brought it up. You don't want to brought it up.
Just telling you what the deal is. We don't need to talk about it.
You had a friendly agreement that you were both going to go your own ways. You and Tallahassee. I got you.
Yeah. So like, you know, my wife is always like, I'm like, babe, I want to go back to Tallahassee. She's like, are you sure? Are you sure?
What could you have done? What could you have done that 20 years later, Enterprise still has you on a blacklist?
Man, listen, I called Enterprise one time. I called Enterprise because, you know, they like, hey, we come bring you to the car or whatever, all right? So I was like, yeah, man, I called. They like, oh, yeah, we make the reservation. Man, they ran my ID. Yeah, nah, we're sorry. We're sorry, sir. I'm take this car back. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
we can't rent you this car. I'm sorry. It's Tallahassee, man. I mean, you know,
a few years ago.
Like right now, you see me sitting out in the vineyard. I look fine. You know what I'm saying? You know.
Yep.
That was a different person back then.
I got you.
Hey,
you know,
a few years ago,
the moon, man. I
was out there, man, going all full speed.
Dude, a few years ago, Trey and I co-hosted a show for the Inside the Birds Network, and every show, Monday through Friday, Trey had to do this read for Manscaped. And man, I lost it. I had to step away from the camera sometimes. What Trey did to those Manscaped commercials, it was a work of art, man. I couldn't even sit there and listen to half of them because it was hilarious the way he read that stuff, man.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
he put his own Trey Thomas inflection into them, and I'll just leave it at that.
Yeah, the Manscaped reads like because I started that with 97 when I was doing the morning show with them. So Manscaped came in. Like I used to do reads for Blue Chew.
Blue Chew was the classic
Viagra.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, studies show that it works. And then,
you get all the good ones here.
You know what I'm saying?
Blue Chew, Manscaping.
Yeah, so I was doing Blue Chew reads, and I was coming up with some wild stuff. So when Manscaped came on, they were like, "Hey, man, we need somebody that's going to do something that's not going to be afraid to just sit out there and do whatever." So they were like, "Hey, man, listen, here's this company that we want you to do the reads for. You can write the commercials however you want, just don't get kicked off the air." I'm like, "Hey, perfect." So I was just, man, the missus be coming in, and I got all this weird music playing in the background because I'm writing a commercial to music and everything. I did a song with when I was asking my son, "Do you shave what I shave?" You know what I'm saying? Like, it was fun, man. We got very creative, and you know, we really enjoyed it.
I don't know where to go from there, man.
Bro, I co-hosted a show with him one time, and he got to talking about Blue Chew. But then he just couldn't keep it to himself. He turns around looking at me, "Yeah, you and the wife use Blue Chew, don't you, B?" I know you do, B.
We give out samples, dog. We give out samples. You know what I'm saying? We gotta make sure. You gotta give out a couple samples. You know what I'm saying? Keep it good in the streets.
Oh, God.
Something wrong with him, man. Something's wrong with Trey, man.
So they asked me, they came to me, "Hey, man, we got like, hey, look, hey, y'all gonna send out some samples? We need to make sure. I gotta make sure what I'm talking about is real." You know?
Just trying to help the people. That's all you're trying to
help
do.
the people.
That's
I
it.
gotta give them from my personal experience.
Yes.
Something's wrong with you, Trey. Something wrong with you, man.
God.
I agree.
Yeah. Trey, awesome, man. Awesome catching up with you today.
Man.
Dude, phenomenal. I mean, phenomenal.
Oh.
You were awesome. We appreciate the time. Enjoy the rest of the day, man. Thank you.
All right, cool, man. All right,
Trey.
take care.
Be good,
Thank you,
Trey.
man. Appreciate it, bro.
Dude, he was unbelievable.
That's my dude, man.
Oh,
See,
my
you got-